Hi guys, welcome back to another vlog. It's a car vlog for a change, and today I'm going to be talking about buying cars, and I'm going to decode the adverts, the people, what you need to look out for. So because all of this is obviously quite a large subject and I don't want to bore you, I'm going to break it down into like multiple vlogs then, so you know you're not going to sit there for hours listening to me waffle on. So this first one, I'm going to be decoding the adverts, and we're going to get rid of some myths straight away, because there's some huge myths that people go on and on and on about, and it drives me insane. Now, just for a quick one, I'm a fully qualified mechanic. I've been buying cars for people, customers, friends, family for years and years and years, going all over the country, and touch wood, today I've had a 100% success rate. Everything I've bought, they've still got, still running well. And there's reasons for that, and there's little idiosyncrasies you've got to look at, either in the advert or the person selling the car. If it's private, a garage is a bit different, so that you have to gauge the garage and talking to them on the phone. But we'll get rid of the myths first. So first myth that absolutely grates me is high mileage cars. People go on and on, oh, I can't buy that, it's got high mileage, this car's got high mileage, that's worthless. And it couldn't be further from the truth. Now, I've had this discussion so many times it's boring, to be honest. But the biggest one, the easiest way I like to explain things to people when they go on about high mileage is, how do you get high mileage? It's quite a simple question. How does a car obtain high mileage? Now, the only way to get high mileage is to go up and down the motorway day after day after day, which sounds like a bad thing, but if you think about it, it's actually a really, really good thing, because the engine is up to full operating temperature. It's sat at a steady or constant speed in one gear. The steering barely moves, the brakes are barely used, the gearbox is barely used. So all it's doing is going on an almost dead straight run for mile after mile after mile, so that everything in the engine is free, is clean, is well lubricated, is at optimum working temperature for mile and mile, hour and hour, relentlessly. Now, on the flip side of that coin, a low mileage car, which I would like to add, all the cars I've had the most trouble with have been low mileage cars. And what happens is, you buy a car, let's say it's a 10-year-old car with 30,000 miles, you're like, wow, it's like a brand new car. And that is exactly the problem. It is like a brand new car. It still needs to be basically run in properly, because the only way to get low mileage is to lots and lots and lots of little tiny short journeys in and out of town, or to shopping, or taking the kids to school, where the engine is stone cold, it's carboning up from too much fuel, keeping itself running on a cold engine. So it's literally at the engine's absolute worst working conditions. Petrol and diesel, they hate it. They absolutely hate running cold. And the lubrication in the engine is just about start to work properly, because it takes oil 10 to 15 minutes to warm up to operating temperatures where it's working at its absolute best. And most journeys, short journeys, don't take that. So the engine is never fully lubricated. So a low mileage car actually is probably more worn out than a high mileage car that's run cleanly for all of those miles. So that is a massive bugbear of mine. Now, there is what I call a death zone, and this is a point where there's lots of quite expensive parts in the engine that are waiting to wear out. So there's like between, and this isn't an exact science, but I've found from being a mechanic and doing what I do, between 80 and 120,000 miles, diesels will go through first. You've got dual mass flywheels and clutches that seem to go in that window. Now, yes, they can go before and they can go after, depending on how mechanically sympathetic the driver is. So on top of that, you've got injectors. If you, again, running poor quality fuel or not using injector cleaner, injectors can go. Now, injectors are like £200-300 each, and you have 4 of them in a diesel. Petrol is the same, probably a bit cheaper though. Turbos is another one. Diesel and petrol. Most diesel petrol cars have turbos now. Again, if they've not been serviced well or not treated correctly, your turbo's going to be dying in and around that window. So you think you buy a car which you deem is low mileage and great at 70,000 miles, well, possibly, not always, in 10 or 15,000 miles, you've got maybe £2,000 worth of work coming your way. So all of a sudden, your low mileage, tidy car has cost you an extra £2,000 or £3,000. Where if you buy a higher mileage, well looked after car, all of that stuff tends to have already been done. So you've missed that window, job done. I've just bought my Iveco camper. I say just, we've had it a while now. Had 150,000 miles on it, and I dropped the oil on it before we went to Scotland, spotlessly clean, and a diesel. You dip it and it comes out like it's a petrol car because it's been very well maintained and very well serviced regularly. You drop the oil out of a car that's done 30,000 miles, diesel, that's 10 years old, it'd be like soup. So that's, I'm not going to rant too much about it because that is what it is. I'll leave that there for now, and I'll start the next one in a bit. But I just wanted to get rid of the high mileage and low mileage myths. Do not think that buying a low mileage car means you are buying a trouble-free car, because as from my experience, only my personal experience, they tend to cost more or cause more trouble than the higher mileage ones. So anyway, that'll do for now. I'll see you in the next one. Let me know in the comments if you've had any issues as well, or with high or low mileage cars. You know, I'll give everyone their own personal opinion. And like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.